Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, the 2 LP vinyl soundtrack by Sega and published by I'm 8-Bit. Alright, what's going on, Forgotten Nation? I'm your host, Def G, and welcome back to another vinyl hands-on session. Over 20 years of Super Monkey Ball, everyone. Crazy to think about, but here we are. Not only are we eating good, with the most recent release being Banana Mania, the ultimate celebration of past, present, and maybe even future too, but we're finally getting some access to the Monkey Ball soundtracks, both digital and in today's video, physical, with the Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania 2 LP release. This is one that I was excited for, but upon closer inspection, it may not be for everyone. Is this really worth going bananas over, or is it pure monkey business? Let's talk about this one. But first, let's talk a little bit about the game. For those that grew up with the Nintendo GameCube, I'm certain this is a series that needs no introduction. But in any case, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania is a compilation remaster of the first 2 Super Monkey Ball games released in the early 2000s, plus the bonus content of its later ports to the PS2 and Xbox under the name Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Containing more than 300 stages and all 12 party games, Banana Mania was made as a celebration of the series, also celebrating the 20th anniversary, while appealing to both newcomers and veterans of the series. With a simple arcade-style premise of navigating a monkey in the ball by manipulating the play field, the game features plenty of unique level designs and increasing difficulty the further the player gets. Super Monkey Ball was the game of my generation, having grown up with the GameCube especially. My game of choice was Super Monkey Ball 2. I never did get a chance to grow up with the original, but I did get to experience the levels because of Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Super Monkey Ball Deluxe was the basis for Banana Mania, as it not only contains everything in the main games, but also has all the levels, all the bonus games, and overall just is an excellent package, all things considered. Banana Mania is a worthy successor and a great remaster of these games, but it just can't get the physics down right. This is something that even some of the most recent Monkey Ball games still tend to suffer with in terms of their controls. And I do hope it is something that could still be ironed out as time goes on. If you want proof of it, just play Monkey Target and you'll know exactly what I mean. But still, I love Super Monkey Ball, and I definitely enjoy Banana Mania. If you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend it. So now let's talk about the soundtracks, because this is the talking matter of today. And even though I do like Banana Mania's soundtrack, there's something important we need to stress when it comes to this vinyl release. Rather than remastering the original game soundtracks, Banana Mania instead remixes these tracks into new arrangements, taking cues from the more recent games in the Super Monkey Ball series. Much similarly to the last entry, Banana Blitz HD. These remix tracks are very different from the originals, featuring what I would call a good mix of dubstep and club-style music. The soundtracks of the Super Monkey Ball series has been done by various artists over the years, but the primary composer for the original games would be Hidenori Shoji. He would continue to do plenty of composition work for Sega since the original game's release, especially for the Yakuza series, and would also be involved with Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. As for Banana Mania, some of the remixers include Yuri Fukuda, who actually worked on Banana Blitz HD, as well as Toshi Okumura, to name a few. In the case of this vinyl release, however, surprisingly, there's a pretty big absence of Banana Mania music. Breaking down this release, we have 23 tracks across 2 records. Sides A and B feature music from the original Super Monkey Ball, just as you may remember them, a total of 10 tracks. Side C features music from Banana Blitz HD, a total of 6 tracks. Finally, Side D features the music seen here in Banana Mania, a total of 7 tracks. I think you may have started to see a problem here with this release. To be honest, I'm a little surprised that they decided to call this one Banana Mania, since there really isn't a whole lot of Banana Mania in it. The entire Vinyl 1 is dedicated to the original Super Monkey Ball soundtrack, and the C-side of Vinyl 2 is from a completely different game. I don't think any of the tracks even appear in Banana Mania. So what we're left with is about 5, maybe even 6 tracks of Banana Mania itself. So you can kind of see the problem here is that this isn't Banana Mania. This is more of the best of Super Monkey Ball. I'm not complaining because I love myself a good retro soundtrack, but it's a little misleading when what you think you're getting isn't exactly that. I think the worst thing though is that you can't even hear the original tracks in the game unless you pay for a $5 DLC or get the digital deluxe edition. Sega being Sega nowadays. So what we have here isn't necessarily Banana Mania. Rather, treat it more though as if it were just simply Super Monkey Ball. Now, is that a deal breaker? For some, it probably is. But for others, and as we'll be seeing as we go hands-on with this, I think this is a love letter, especially to the fans. And I still think there's enough here that might be worth checking out. So that's a little bit about the game and the soundtrack. Let's move on to the hands-on session, starting with the presentation. The outer sleeve features a Monkey Ball classic motif sporting green checkers and a banana front and center. The checker design also extending to the back with a small eye. The front side of Banana Mania isn't necessarily original, but it does have a pretty neat gimmick. And this is based on an existing vinyl album that's been out for quite a long time now, known as The Velvet Underground and Nico. And the big gimmick between these two vinyls is that the front features a peelable banana that allows you to see what's underneath. In the case of the Velvet Underground, it was a flesh-colored banana, but in the case of Super Monkey Ball, it says Banana Mania, and it's got eye with a little banana slice. This is just a little fun thing that they didn't have to do, but I'm glad they did. It may not be the most presentable, but it's certainly one of the most interactive. This is a fun one for those that want a little interactability when it comes to the releases, or just want something completely different. Not everything needs to be for show. Sometimes you can have fun stuff like this, and it certainly goes a long way of being iconic and memorable. And the fact that this one sticks right back up, just like that, is really cool. So immediately, it already captures your attention by being interactive. It says peel, and immediately it's the first thing you want to do. Unfortunately, it doesn't smell like bananas. I tried. But overall, this is a fun little gimmick with this outer sleeve that is really cool and definitely screams Monkey Ball, even if it's not the most original. Inside, the inner artwork features a very colorful display of Ai and the gang racing towards the goal. A really cool art piece fans will no doubt enjoy. Alright, so way back in the 2000s, there was a DS entry of Super Monkey Ball known as Touch and Roll. And when it comes to the anniversary artwork of Banana Mania, I feel like it's strikingly close. This feels like to a T, it's trying to be like the Touch and Roll art style, which I think is really cool. Between the bold black lines outlining the characters to the absolutely eye-popping colors, not only is this originally unique, but it's definitely a showpiece. And I love the look of this. Each inner sleeve contains some banana artwork, with Monkey Ball style stickers and the track credits on each side. The vinyl variant we have on hand is the limited edition Monkey Ball edition, a split design with pink, red, and clear sides meant to mimic the Monkey Balls in-game. Each vinyl has its own monkey featured on the label art, which includes Ai and Baby, as though they were piloting the balls. A really cool design if you have the limited edition. Honestly, this is really cool. It makes sense when it comes to this format being this split design. I don't have a lot like it in my collection, but I feel like this screams Monkey Ball. The only thing that would have been better is if the stickers were aligned properly, especially because you have the front and back of Ai. Not only would it suit it way more, but it would have had that little bit of interactability. It would have looked as though they were the Monkey Ball. Part of this too is because of the other variants being this banana variant, which is a solid yellow, and I believe there was also a splatter variant. I gotta look up that one. In any case though, this is a limited edition, so it's not available no more, but the banana variant is still up there. It might be sold out, but I'll be sure to have a link in the description when it does finally go back up. My only complaint so far is the inner sleeves. They look cool, but they're incredibly flimsy. I feel like the paper stock that they used isn't the strongest, and especially when it comes to the edges, I worry that if we're not careful over time, that they might tear easily. I feel like there's a bit of an opening when it comes to this side here that worries me a little bit. But as far as presentation goes, that's my only major gripe when it comes to Banana Mania. Overall, this is a solid LP release, but it's not about the presentation, it's about the music. So how does Banana Mania fare? Well, all things considered, it's really good when you know what you're getting into, of course. As far as the vinyl quality though, minimal pops and crackles, just to be expected, of course. Overall, this is an absolutely solid pressing, and I'm so glad to have it. But let's talk about the music, because again, it's the original Super Monkey Ball soundtrack, Banana Blitz HD, and a small sliver of Banana Mania. So you gotta know what you're getting yourself into when it comes to this release. But if you enjoy all this, then I think it's worth checking out. Don't believe me? Here's some samples from Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, the 2 LP release. As a fan of the original Super Monkey Ball games, this is everything I could have asked for, plus a little bit more. But if you're coming as a fan of Banana Mania and you were expecting that out of the soundtrack, then you might go into this thinking, is this what I heard in the game? And for that reason, there's going to be a bit of subjectiveness when it comes to recommending this one. Easily, I can recommend this to anyone if they enjoy the original Monkey Ball soundtracks and that little bit of extra that came from the more recent modern releases. But if you're getting this because you thought it was the Banana Mania remixes, then you might want to hold off on that one. Overall, I believe this is a love letter to the original Monkey Ball fans, and the fact that it's almost got the entirety of the original Super Monkey Ball soundtrack on it is an absolute plus. Somewhere in I'm 8-Bit definitely had some good taste over there. Overall though, this gets my recommendation, but just know what tracks are on here before you go purchasing it. Because if you don't like the original game, or some of the original tracks from the more recent games, then it might not be what you're looking for. And as a fan of Super Monkey Ball 2, I do wish there was a little more representation on that front. But overall, that's going to do it for this hands-on session of Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, the 2 LP release. If you like this video and want to see more just like it, the best place to let me know is in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. And don't think I wouldn't go this video without acknowledging the banana download here. I'm sorry, but all this talk of bananas has made me very hungry. Potassium.